Welcome to the series about the revolution that changed music forever. In the early 80s, the industry thought rock was dying, until a single television channel gave icons like Ozzy Osbourne and Aerosmith a second life. This is the rise of MTV. We will tell you all about legendary rock bands whose careers were resurrected, rebranded, or launched into the stratosphere by the power of the music video. MTV launched on August 1st, 1981, with the words, "Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll." Ironically, the first video played was "Video Killed the Radio Star" by the Buggles. But for the rock legends of the 70s, video didn't kill them, it saved them. MTV didn't just change the radio, it changed the eyes of the world. It took 70s rock stars and turned them into 80s gods. But the biggest impact wasn't on the artists, it was on us. Before 1981, you knew what your favorite artist sounded like, but you had no idea how they looked, how they moved, or how they dressed. For the first time, a kid in a small town could see music from around the world. It made the world smaller, and the music bigger. It wasn't just about the song anymore. MTV created the communal watch. We all waited for the same 4 p.m. countdown. In a world before the internet, MTV was our social media. It didn't just add a picture to the song, it gave music lovers a visual language. It turned listeners into fans, and fans into followers. When we talk about classic rock on MTV, it's a fascinating story. In the early 80s, rock was already old, and many veteran bands were terrified of the camera. But the ones who embraced it didn't just survive. They became bigger than they ever were during the 70s. Before MTV, a band's fame was limited by how far their tour bus could drive. After MTV, you could be global in 3 minutes. And no band proved that better than a group from Boston that everyone thought was finished. By 1984, Aerosmith was a memory until they smashed through a literal wall. By 1984, Aerosmith wasn't just a band in trouble, they were a band that time had forgotten. The Toxic Twins, Steven Tyler and Joe Perry, were struggling with the weight of the 70s. Their shows were erratic, their albums weren't charting, and the new generation of MTV kids saw them as their parents' music. They were relics. Then came Rick Rubin. Rubin was a young producer who saw something nobody else did. He wanted to mash together the fading kings of rock with the rising kings of hip-hop, Run DMC. At first, neither side wanted it, but they needed a spark. The Walk This Way video is perhaps the most important 5 minutes in the history of the network. It literally visualized the conflict. When Steven Tyler used his mic stand to smash through that drywall. He wasn't just joining a rap group on stage, he was smashing the barrier between the 70s and the 80s. He was telling the MTV audience, "We are still here, and we are still cool." The impact was instantaneous. Aerosmith became the coolest band on the planet again. They proved that on MTV, a single image, a smashed wall, a scarf on a mic stand, a wide-mouthed scream was worth more than 1,000 radio plays. Aerosmith smashed the wall between rock and rap. But our next legend may be responsible for the greatest MTV moments of all time. Make sure to subscribe. You won't want to miss the next segment about a Birmingham native who turned a solo career into a media empire.